Can't believe it. Finally, Joshua has made it to one of our TV future tables as well. We've seen so little of him, but he's here, and he's second in chips.
Usually the way it goes, somebody flies under the radar the entire time is Punat Punsri. Aces off the bat. By the way, the first time these players have played nine-handed in this entire tournament, as it is an 8-max event, but they combine at 9, just so you don't have that sort of unfair, unbalanced tables with 5 and 4. But Punsri, pocket aces. Let's see if he can pick up any action here.
On a serious upswing, because he was the shortest stack not too long ago when we had 13 players remaining. Now working with a very healthy stack of 24 million. And look at this. Wow. Petrushevsky wakes up with ace-king. He's one of the shortest stacks, 14 million chips in total. Alex?
Well, as Petrushevsky just moving in here seems very, very reasonable off 24 bigs. You don't really, I mean, you can also 3-bet to induce. 5,100,000. But he basically makes a committing 3-bet right here. And Punsri, no need to slow play. When your opponent bets that big on the 3-bet, the rest of it's going in my opinion.
What a way to start your final table of the Triton 1 main event. Aces first hand, big blind 3-bets you to 5.1 million. Puts in 33% of the entire stack. Aces versus ace-king. So we immediately use one of these time bank extension chips.
It does make sense to take a little time here to mimic what you would do with a closer decision, but if Sergey had 3-bet to a slightly smaller amount, I wouldn't have hated to see a flat from Punsri because I would think he would have some 3-bet folds, but when he puts in 5.1, to me it looks like he's really committing himself.
Let's see what we decide to do with the aces.
But Punsri does just decide to flat. So let's see if there's ever a flop where Sergey can end up getting away from this hand. The flat looks very strong, by the way.
Yeah, 5 million is also 20% of the stack that Punsri started this hand with. First hand immediately 11 million chips in the middle on the final table, and it's a king high board. You said there might be some boards where you can get away from it. No way we're getting away from this one.
No, just a disaster for Sergey Petrushevsky, who's played great all tournament.
Yeah, he's been very solid. It's been a lot of fun to watch. Does not shy away from limping as well quite often in the small blind, and I would have loved to see him play a few more hands, but at this point we're going to need some serious luck. Punat is also the one who's holding the ace of spades, so running spades is not an option.
2.4.
And I think if you're Petrushevsky, you're putting your opponent on something in the neighborhood of jacks and tens some of the time, looking to see a clean flop, or a slow play like pocket aces. You would expect kings and queens mostly to just shove, ace-king similarly.
Absolutely brutal first hand of this final table. Rest of the table would obviously love to see a bust out here, as that would guarantee a $29,000 pay jump for the remaining 8.
Punsri continuing to play it slow here. And barring a king on the turn or the river. Disaster for the Russian.
The turn is the 8 of spades. Punat now also picks up the ace-high flush draw, but obviously does not need to improve. Just needs to make sure that not another king rolls off. I mean, with 16 million in the middle, 7.2 behind, we don't have a spade in our hand. This seems like an obvious slam dunk all-in.
I think so too, Kevin. Perhaps alarm bells going off in his head just a little bit, but still.
You're always worried, especially at the final table of the main, but what do you do here with 7.2 behind, 16 in the middle, top pair, top kicker? I don't see what we do. Perhaps Petrushevsky can find a way to limit the damage, but it seems impossible. Sergey Petrushevsky uses a time bank extension chip as well. Massive pay jumps at this final table.
I think if Petrushevsky had 3-bet something a little smaller, Punsri's flat would not look as alarming. But really, how many hands want a flat versus that 5.1? The only thing Petrushevsky could be thinking is that it does look a lot like a slow played aces. But again, 7.2 behind, 15.9 in the middle. You'd have to be so sure on that read. And we do see the all-in, and I don't blame him.
The snap call with the aces and the ace of spades, and we are drawing very, very slim. We need a king and a king only on the river, or we are down to 8 in our first hand of this final
And
table.
only one out is the king of spades would give Punsri ace-high spades.
Okay, we're drawing even slimmer.
King of diamonds only to save 𝐟𝐸𝐺, and he is taking his microphone off.
If there was ever a moment to take the microphone off, it's probably when you're drawing to 1 out.
Yeah, that's kind of the TV table equivalent of using your one-time good game, 𝐿. Just over $100,000 for his efforts. And it's been fun to watch him. He also made a run in the 3K Triton Genesis.
Yep, it's been a very strong week coming out of 𝐿 here at the Triton won.
That's even more fun in PLO. You can look at 2 or 3 and start to dream of what you might need to fill the hand. Sometimes you look at 3 and they look terrible, and then you pick up that suited ace with it, and you've all of a sudden got a decent hand.
Lots of faults around. Faults all the way to the small blind.
A lot of weak holdings.
Yeah. Even this one for 𝐷𝐸𝐽.
Thank you.
He's very kind. He had a better hand, though. Best hand of them all.
Perhaps, yeah.
That was a very polite thank you. Back-to-back walks. I think that's something that will be very rare in the upcoming hours of poker. This is not the kind of table where I expect to see too many walks, but the handings were real poor this time.
Kishimoto, king-6 off, first position. And the playable queen jack of diamonds for 𝐸𝐺.
He's going to get involved this time around. This had back-to-back walks. Quite certain that's the only time we'll actually see 2 hands in a row, no one putting in any chips.
Slightly bigger than min raise there for 𝐸𝐺. And Shinhwa.
Ooh. 𝐷𝐸𝐽 looking down at the ace-queen of hearts.
I like this decision just to call with ICM. No need to build a pot here. Hand plays well multi-way too if somebody else does come along. And then perhaps sometimes you induce a shove from 𝐿.
And you gladly call off.
And you gladly call off, exactly.
Especially if 𝐸𝐺 would get out of the way, which we know he would with a player left to act behind him. Igor is wondering if he should toss in the extra million to take a flop with 8-7 offsuit.
Yeah, he's being charged a little bit more than the minimum, but 8-7 off, likely to have live cards. He's thinking about it.
Could flop big. Baron straight draws. Igor is taking his time. Making any other move than calling or folding here would definitely be a mistake, because we'd be in a lot of trouble. Igor's got a lot of history with 𝐸𝐺. Probably feels like he's been targeted a little. We bluffed a few times. We make the call. We're off to see a pretty exciting flop. 6.6 million in the middle. Igor hoping for small cards.
Wow.
Comes 9-8-8. Trip 8s for Igor.
Igor hoping for this.
Okay. I was thinking maybe like a 4-5-6,
Yeah.
but we'll take trip 8s.
And is 𝐸𝐺 tempting to just make a small bet here with the 2 overs in the gut shot?
Now, the only sad thing here for 𝐿 is that there's not a whole lot for the queen jack of diamonds and the ace queen of hearts to get excited over here.
It does check through.
Ooh. That is a problematic card for Ren 𝐸𝐺.
Yeah, 2 flush draws on board now. Interested to see how Igor approaches this.
It's likely that one of them has a jack, right? With the under the gun +2 open, flat from the button.
Certainly some Jack X in both ranges. He does come with a bet. 2.3.
With queen jack, we can't really go anywhere. 𝐷𝐸𝐽, though, will be able to get away from his ace queen of hearts while taking minimum damage.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So many draws available here. Queen Jack feels like a lot of hand, and of course, if behind, still has equity against everything.
And we're also sitting on 40 million, which should make our decision a little bit easier here. We can call. We're expecting ace queen to get out of the way real quick.
Igor dreaming of red deuces.
Or another ace.
Instead, the jack.
No way.
And
Oh,
this is a
my
troublesome
goodness.
card for Igor.
Wow.
It's very tempting for him to go for value himself. 𝐼𝐸𝐾𝐭 could still have some overpairs, some pocket tens, some ace high perhaps that calls on the double paired board.
That is ridiculous. Both players end up with full houses.
But he does check.
I think he's really putting 𝐼𝐸𝐾𝐭 on a jack here.
He certainly recognizes that that's a fair part of 𝐸𝐸𝐾𝐭's range. But facing all in, it feels difficult to get away here.
Yep, especially when the pot is already this big, 11.2 million in the middle.
Perhaps Wen could even be shoving spades for value against that action.
And we are announcing all in, and it's an incredibly gross spot for Igor, who flopped trip eights, and somehow the run out is jack-jack. Obviously with any 10 we would have made a straight as well on the side of 𝐸𝐸𝐾𝐭, but the jack-jack is just so easy and comfortable to play.
Yeah, this is really a gross spot for Igor. You have to try to figure out what your opponent's bluffs are. Or could your opponent even be shoving spades for value?
The way that he tossed
when
in
facing the check.
time bank extension chip shows us how he feels about this run out. If Igor is wrong and makes the call, the rest of the table walks away with at least $183,000, which is a $53,000 pay jump. Folding here and leaving yourself with less than 10 big blinds is so incredibly annoying. Igor probably wondering, is my 8 ever good here? My stomach is upside down just looking at this hand and this run out.
One thing that maybe is going through Igor's mind also is that extremely unlikely his opponent has the case 8, because not too many suited 8x hands are opening from that position and checking flop. So it's more likely either a jack, perhaps spades if they pursue value, or some type of bluff. But what are the bluffs?
I think it's very unlikely that too many spades would shove for value on a double paired board, especially when Igor led out on the turn.
Yes, but I think, and you may be right, Kevin, but when Igor takes this line and then checks, he can definitely have a lot of straights and some 9x that you can target, but it's hard for those hands to call indeed. The question is, where is when 𝐸𝐸𝐾𝐭 going to pull his bluffs from?
𝐸𝐸𝐽aroszewski really taking his time and going over everything. These two have a lot of history with each other from that previous TV table. And Igor did have the feeling he got bluffed twice, and he was right. He did get bluffed twice. Back then he didn't really have the hands to fight back. He makes the call. And that means that we are down 2-7. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to 𝐸𝐽aroszewski, who's played some amazing poker here in the main event of Triton 1.
Pay jump starting to get big. 183K for our next finish, 7th place, and then 241 for 6th, 328, and then you start jumping by over 100K per pay jump. Shinhwa, ace-king off in the cutoff.
Got away from his ace-queen of hearts where he did not connect at all, and really got rewarded for what you already said. It's worth not always 3-betting these hands. Just take a flop, keep the pot small.
And it looks like we have our first mystery hand.
I love it. I've missed it. We've been requesting it, Alex. The mystery hand for Kishimoto.
A bit rare to have a mystery hand off of such a short stack, but I imagine something interesting is going to happen on the flop here.
Of course. Flop comes Queen Jack 5.
As it is the two Japanese players going head-to-head, perhaps familiar with each other's games.
There's got to be some love between these. Insta big bet. 𝐷AIKI plays real quick, by the way. Bets 2.1 million. Now, since this is the mystery hand, we are not expecting Kishimoto to go anywhere. He just called from the big blind. Could have a lot of holdings at this point. 10-9, any jack, any queen. Perhaps even a 5. An ace-5 is a possibility. 5-6.
Lots of things possible now. Let's see if Kishimoto comes with some type of check raise. And he just moves in.
All right. What are we putting him on?
I'm going to say 10-8 of diamonds.
Yeah, that's a good guess. Like, it could just be a 10-9 with 1 diamond. It could be a 10-8 of diamonds.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the combo draw here.
I like it. How about ace-5 of diamonds?
Certainly possible as well. And tricky here as 𝐿𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞. No diamond in hand, but he does call.
Makes the call. Let's see. Is it a queen? Is it a jack? Is it a straight draw? It is king-9 with the king of diamonds. So we've got a gut shot. Kishimoto in all sorts of trouble.
Kishimoto making a move here and drawing just to a 9, Kevin.
Wow. The gut shot no good, of course. Because ace-king would make Broadway. How about some running diamonds? That's a possibility. Could be drawing that on this turn. That queen does not change anything, so it's
Not
a 9.
dead, but drawing slim.
It's a 9 and a 9 only for Kishimoto, or we are down to 6. Can Kishimoto find one of the 3 remaining 9s on the river? Nope, that is not one of them. GG to the man who did his best work from seat 8. The moment he ended in seat 3.
Burst onto the scene maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and he's just been winning everything since. Specializes in a lot of these big field events.
Yep, and he's been here as well this week, and we even had him at our TV table once. Hasn't quite been the week yet of Steven Song, but a very good chance that he will stick around for the Triton High Roller Series, which will, of course, kick off tomorrow as soon as Triton 1 finishes up.
𝐿𝐻𝐸 suited ace in the cutoff. 𝐿𝐻𝐸, ace-king.
Identical stacks for these 2 Triton veterans, we can safely call them. 𝐿𝐻𝐸 looks down and grabs the raising chips. Makes it 5.2 million with ace-king. Ace-4 offsuit will get out of the way. Pocket 8s got mucked immediately there as well.
Quick fold from the 8s. Definitely a hand that doesn't do well in the face of raise and 3-bet. Doesn't interact with any of the strongest hands.
But the man is holding a Chinese passport. Are we even allowed to fold 8s like that?
We've actually seen 8s a lot in that exact situation in some of the previous tournaments. Yeah. And 𝐼RTROZIAN making it 10.8. He does have a reasonable 4-bet bluff candidate if he thinks 𝐻𝐸's getting out of line, but he's just run into it here.
Yep. 𝐻𝐸 just has it. Ace-king offsuit. Somewhat similar to what we had earlier. A little bit different. Back then, Arthur was the one who announced all in and took down a big pot without ever seeing a flop. Let's see what 𝐻𝐸 decides to do here. Of course, you always want to be a little bit careful as well. Ace-king is an absolute monster. You'll be hating life if you're dusting off 50 big blinds here and you run into aces or kings, but he's of course not afraid.
Sure, but cutoff button against the ever dangerous and aggressive 𝐼RTROZIAN. Ace-king feels like all-in's the only move here.
16.5.
And this is effectively all in.
We're
he does click it back to perhaps give the illusion that he might have some 5-bet folds here.
5-bet.
If 𝐼RTROZIAN really does feel that there are some 5-bet folds, the suited wheel aces would actually be among the best bluffs, but let's see how he proceeds. It's also very annoying when you face this size, as the price is very tempting just to peel, but you are up against just such a strong value range.
5.7 million extra to play for a 35 million chip pot. At this point, I may just toss in the 5 million and hope to see a bunch of clubs or a couple of tiny cards.
Very interested to see how 𝐼RTROZIAN plays this. Expected 𝐻𝐸 just to jam, but this might be nicer. Opening the door a little bit.
That's really fun sizing. I feel like folding is actually out of the option.
I disagree a little bit, Kevin, just because of ICM and how strong that value range is. But I do think everything's on the table here.
That option meant question, of course. It's been a long week over here at Triton 1, but lots of fun and incredibly curious.
Certainly would be fun to see a 6-bet shove with a 3 in his hand, but
I want to see the call, and I want to see them both whiff. That'd be fun
I
too.
suspect call is actually the least likely option.
You could be right. It's just so little extra to play for so much. Play for heaps. Does Arthur make a big shove, a big laydown, or does he call?
And just burning through these time bank chips.
He was talking about how many he had a little while ago. He had more than anyone.
They're dwindling.
This is probably a pretty good moment to use them, to be fair. We are being 5-bet by Punat Punsri. Arthur opens, Punat 3-bets. Arthur clicks it back, makes it 10.8 million. Punat comes over the top, makes it 16.5. And this is where we are happy that we did save all those time bank extension chips. What a spot. So you would never call here, Alex. You think calling is outrageous?
I don't think it's outrageous. I just think it's the least likely to happen here.
Okay.
And
Oh,
he does move in. Punsri inducing with the ace-king.
monster pot. 76 million chips in the middle as Arthur comes over the top, announces all in with the ace-3 of clubs. But he's not even, like, he's in bad shape, but it's not the worst shape, Alex. We've seen a whole lot worse than this.
Well, that is the thing about those suited wheel aces, is that they have somewhat of robust equity against the value range, but what a spot for Punsri.
And what an adorable plushie. How can you lose?
I just noticed that.
We know
popping
Arthur
up.
can't lose, but how can you lose with that plushie and the blue Triton hoodie? When two worlds collide. Something about the unmovable object and unstoppable force. Here we go. Flop comes Queen, Queen 10. We chop it up.
Chop outs picked up for our tour. Backdoor clubs working as well.
Oh, yeah. Arthur looking for a 3 ideally, but a 10 wouldn't be all that bad. Any club would definitely make it a very exciting river.
10 of clubs would be interesting.
Biggest pot we've seen all week long. It is the 7 of diamonds. Arthur needs a 3 to win it, a 10 to chop, or a 7 to chop. Because he's already doing what you have to do to make sure you can catch a miraculous river, and that is stand up, unclip the mic.
Oh,
Arthur,
the mic's coming off. I think
Arthur
the 3
knows it.
Is the 3 hiding?
No, the river is the deuce of clubs, and that will do it. Arthur Martirosian is eliminated in 6th place. They're making a big move with the ace-3 of clubs. Picked up some static, but we'll take care of that. Ace Jack for our chip leader on the button. I'm gonna open this one up as well. 2.2.
2.3.
2.3.
Unbelievable.
Same as he did last time.
We make it 2.3. Like he looks down at ace 7 offsuit.
𝐮𝐬 flats the small blind. This is a little bit surprising to me.
Dachi has been very quiet. Just obviously has not been picking up a lot of hands. This is also just kind of staying out of trouble.
Yeah, I like the call from 𝐷𝐸. 𝐮𝐬's hand is definitely an unusual flat, out of position against the chip leader, offsuit ace-X in the small blind.
Ace 7, King Jack, and Ace Jack heading to a flop, and that is a problematic flop for our man 𝐷𝐸, who's been a little quiet, has stayed out of trouble, defends the big blind, picks up top pair, king kicker. You got to be feeling like you're pretty good here.
Yeah, absolutely. Still would expect if Punsri comes with a c-bet, which of course we expect, that 𝐷𝐸 probably just continues in the form of a call. 3-way pot, ICM considerations.
Can get real expensive though if a blank rolls off on the turn. But what do you do? Especially when it's the chip leader that's just firing away and is taking down pot after pot.
5 seconds.
Never folding King Jack. At least not immediately. The bet is 2.6 million.
In such a dry board, using a small sizing is Punat Punsri.
Is there a world where he
Oh,
raises?
and
Yep.
𝐷𝐸 does come in for the raise.
Can't blame him. It is going to get expensive.
So this is somewhat thematic on these dry boards that you can go for raises with hands like King Jack. Top pair, very good kicker. It's just a little less likely to occur in these ICM situations where there are a couple of shorter stacks. Interested to see what Punat comes with here. I expect just a call, but there are worlds in which he goes for small 3-bet here on the flop too if he thinks his ace-jack is best the majority of the time.
5 seconds.
37 big blinds behind for 𝐷𝐸.
Time.
And indeed, a time extension chip being used. Punsri not just instantly calling,
He's just going over his options.
and it appears the graphic has showed he's 3-bet to 14 million.
Yeah, but I don't think that's been announced yet, so that could be a typo. We'll keep an eye on it.
It's a spoiler or a typo, I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
14.
Well, it's a spoiler.
Indeed.
We
His-
3-bet to 14 million, and now King Jack is starting to feel really uncomfortable.
Yeah, this is nice from Punat Punsri, who seems to be putting his opponent on something like this, because if you thought your opponent had a lot of bluffs, you may just want to keep him in with ace-jack. But if you think he's stronger on the
Oh
value side,
no, he moved all in and snap
and
called.
snap call. Disaster for
Oh.
𝐷𝐸.
Tournament live on the line. For the man who's been a little quiet lately, he flops top pair, king kicker. Stayed out of trouble for a little while. But we are playing for 97 million chips here, Alex.
And Punsri's induction abilities as he grabs
Like to hold for pay-down.
his lucky charm.
The turn is a 9. That doesn't change anything.
King and a king only, or 𝐷𝐸 is out in 5th.
Can we find a miracle king on the river? Or will Punat Punsri just run away with everything? That's
Wow.
another 9, and that means ace-jack stays best. And we are down to 4. 𝐷𝐸 eliminated in 5th place.
As 𝐸𝐫𝐫 here, king, queen of spades on the button.
Knows that he is the shortest of the bunch. Joshua 𝐾𝐵𝐸 did, of course, just lose a couple chips, but still has 𝐸𝐫𝐫 outchipped by a little. And Punat Punsri looks down at a very beautiful Jack-10 suited. We make the call with Jack-10 of diamonds. 𝐷𝐸 looks down at pocket sixes. Playable hand. Oh,
And instead of completing the action, he comes in with a raise here.
6-5.
caught me off guard.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this either, I must confess. Kind of a small squeeze here,
No, that's a watch, by the way.
although the button only opening off 25 bigs. And for when 𝐸𝐫𝐫, he may be considering just moving in here.
Yeah, I feel like this is an all-in or fold scenario when you're the shortest of the 4, right?
Potentially he can flat as well. It's a little bit awkward.
Tosses in a time bank extension chip. Of course, doesn't want to continue chipping down. He's wearing his lucky Philadelphia 76 shirt.
And 6 is not the hand I would have expected to see from Shinhwa.
Nope.
Would have expected a more polarized range.
Did announce all in for 27 million. And that put the sixes in the blender. 21 million extra with sixes. That seems like an almost impossible call to make.
It is for a big chunk of his stack. But again, if you do 3-bet squeeze with sixes, perhaps it is with the intention of calling off.
It looks real strong, though, what 𝐸𝐫𝐫 is doing here.
It does. This is not very clear. Again, I would have chosen stronger pairs to make this 3-bet squeeze for value and maybe more clear hands.
Wow,
but it
we
looks like
called
he is
already.
calling.
We already called. 𝐷𝐸, no time to waste. As another player is at risk at this final table.
We need sixes to hold.
Joshua goes over to his amigo saying we need sixes to hold for another big pay jump.
And Joshua's been fairly quiet, just watching people bust like crazy at this table.
I don't know how he does it. Stays away from the camera even when he's on the future table. Here we go, a massive flip.
Ruogo at risk here.
That is a great flop for the sixes.
Clean for the sixes indeed.
One spade there for when Rogo needs to find some paint, or at least a spade. He's no good. It's a king or a queen, or we are down to 3. Can Rogo find some paint on the river, or will the sixes of 𝐷𝐸𝐾 pull off a massive hold? The sixes are best. Pay jump for Joshua, pay jump for the other two.
And Kevin, just like that, we're down to 3 players. We'll see a decent-sized pot here, Randy. Punch 3 in the big blind, king 5 off. 15 million.
What? King 5 offsuit.
15 million or 14, excuse me, with the king 5 offsuit. And I can understand wanting to use a big size with your 3-bets when you do 3-bet, but this is not the candidate I would choose this deep against a player who is going to flat you.
He didn't even think about it, really.
I mean, you'd think you would just want a little bit more playability. Punsri is really going for it. Like you said, he wants the win, Randy.
No time bank used. Called 14 million. That's 𝐷𝐸𝐾 against Punat's king 5 offsuit.
And a very quick call from 𝐮𝐬.
Joshua on the sidelines watching this hand develop. 30 million chip pot. Queen 7 deuce. King 5's got nothing.
I'd be so scared just firing with total air into a man who is capable of floating as wide as 𝐮𝐬 is. Perhaps if you bet once, you have to be willing to fire multiple barrels, but your hand is just so rough here. One of the problems with 3-betting king 5 offsuit is it's just not a very good hand. It doesn't make much very often.
Well, here's the C-bet. It's 1/3 pot, 10 million straight.
And without even knowing 𝐮𝐬's cards, I'm expecting him to flat. But instead...
Well, he's counting his green chips.
Okay. Assessing.
I still got you covered, Punat.
This is perhaps the longest he's tanked yet, Randy.
Correct. Not sure how to read into that. Obviously, this pot is already huge from pre-flop.
Any early guesses on the mystery hand?
No idea. No idea, to be honest.
He's a difficult player to read.
Ooh, pair of 5s now for Punat Punsri. So a little bit of showdown value in case he was up against some better
I think
high
this
cards.
is more showdown value against 𝐷𝐸𝐾 than it would ordinarily be. We've seen 𝐷𝐸𝐾 floating flops extremely wide. As Punsri, perhaps you check.
I like a slowdown in this spot. I don't think I'm getting the queen or 7 to ever fold as played right now. So why not just try to slow things down? There's the check. 50 million chip pot at the moment. 69 effective remaining, and a quick bet of 15 million. Now what with king 5 off?
I think you call and you play poker on the river. I mean, raising doesn't make a ton of sense to me, and just too much hand to fold, especially against someone who can float flops as wide as 𝐷𝐸𝐾. And my early lean is that 𝐷𝐸𝐾 is unpaired at this point.
Okay, diamonds, maybe backdoor clubs, I suppose. Or you think maybe even just like
Maybe even something wilder than that.
an ace-jack, maybe?
Yeah.
Ace-10, king-jack? Who knows?
It just feels unpaired to me.
So no clarity. But we are going to go to a river card. Card is a deuce of clubs. So backdoor flush gets there. The bottom card pairs. 80 million chips in the middle. There's 54 back.
And if Punsri, of course you check here.
Just pray for the check back.
Or if you're enough of a sicko, you pray for the shove and you think you're good.
I don't think anyone wants to see a shove at this moment. Three-handed. There's a shorter stack out there. And an instant all-in.
All-in from
𝐷𝐸𝐾.
𝐷𝐸𝐾 𝐮𝐬.
Oh, my God. Jam.
Punsri needs to try to work it out. How do my cards help me inform my decision here? I don't have a diamond in my hand. I block king, queen, which is one of the hands that would have raised and flatted the 3-bet.
But I think 𝐷𝐸's sick enough to jam a worse queen than king, queen.
And perhaps flat the raise pre as well with something like, I mean, 𝐷𝐸 could call the 3-bet with queen 10 off. This is the second time that Punsri has made this large 3-bet against him, and he might just be ready to see a flop.
He's put in a time bank. He's
only
got one back.
time extension. What's he going to do here, Randy?
What's your instincts?
I think he's going to call. My instinct is that 𝐿𝐮𝐬 has been unpredictable enough that Punat Punsri is going to call, but let's see what happens.
But do you think 𝐷𝐸's got it?
I
Or
don't.
you think he's got a bluff? You think he's got a bluff?
I do.
All right. He's going to use all his time banks, I'm sure. Given the size of the pot, the biggest pot of the tournament.
But he doesn't have many time banks.
That's the last one. 30 more seconds.
You can see the look of concern on the face of Punat Punsri.
Is it the queen? Is it a busted diamond hand? Is it the backdoor clubs? Calls.
Calls. And indeed it is
8-6. Oh
a stone cold
God.
float from 𝐷𝐸 𝐿𝐮𝐬.
Wow.
Punat Punsri, pot of the tournament so far.
Wow.
And there you have it, that 𝐷𝐸 is just capable of floating the flop so wide.
Nice ball.
8-6 of hearts, and he congratulates his opponent on the call.
Okay.
If you're going to do anything else, I think you open jam. But winning 4 million just doesn't do that much for your stack.
He's going to open jam.
He does, and I can understand it. And 𝐿𝐮𝐬 calls quickly with king 3.
Wow, king 3 offsuit. He just was like, you know what? One of us is going down. Let me be the one
Snap
to
call
take you
with
down.
king 3 against 𝐵𝐵𝐸, who has been fairly snug.
King Jack suited accidentally value shoves. 𝐷𝐸's in trouble. 𝐷𝐸's in big trouble.
𝐷𝐸 does have his opponent covered, though not by much. King 4 deuce.
Wow, what a flop for 𝐵𝐵𝐸.
Backdoor straight draws for 𝐿𝐮𝐬. A couple more spades would chop it up as well.
Okay, you can see a chop happening, Alex.
See it. Spade or a 3, otherwise 𝐵𝐵𝐸 will double and 𝐿𝐮𝐬 will be left with crumbs.
3 of spades would actually chop it too.
Jack.
Full double up for Joshua 𝐵𝐵𝐸, 50 million. 𝐷𝐸 on 2.2.
It's funny because in some ways, you don't mind keeping your opponent around.
He didn't even look at his cards, I think.
And it looks like actually 𝐿𝐮𝐬 only had 1.2 million.
Joshua's got 7s.
Okay, this is very, very, very interesting.
Talk to me.
Well, the thing is that 𝐵𝐵𝐸 can call here, and the only way that he finishes third is if 𝐿𝐮𝐬 wins the hand, Punsri gets second, and 𝐵𝐵𝐸 gets third. 7s is doing extremely well. If he thinks Punsri is shoving any 2 cards, which it looks like he is based on the hand he has, and maybe he's not shoving all the monsters, but he does just fold.
Wow, that could be one to talk about for Joshua, but he's just going to try to outlast 𝐷𝐸 𝐿𝐮𝐬. Too much money in terms of pay jumps.
See, it's interesting there, because if 𝐵𝐵𝐸 only had like 20 million, I really like the fold. But when he has so many chips, doubling up actually starts to mean a lot, and he's only going to finish third if, like I mentioned, main pot goes to 𝐿𝐮𝐬, side pot goes to Punsri. So would have been very tempting there with 7s. I think I would have called, Randy.
Well, let us see a flop and see how this one results into a queen 10-5 2-heart board. No, 7s. Looking good.
Yeah, I just think that that side pot would have been so big, and the chances of finishing third would have been minimal at that point.
Current card is the 4. Can the Jack-8 hold and stay alive? River card, the Jack, and 𝐷𝐸.
Hard to celebrate too much as 𝐿𝐮𝐬, but he does double up.
If you get to 100 million, Punat would be down to about 140 or 150 million, which obviously is very close. That is definitely a hand to be studied for the purists out there.
And 𝐿𝐮𝐬 picks up
Oh my
kings.
God,
Can he
he's
mount
got
a comeback?
Kings,
And ace queen for
Joshua.
𝐵𝐵𝑖𝑠a. Now he's in almost a similar situation, Randy. I think he needs to just put it in again because, well, perhaps you proceed with something slightly different than just all in here, but
I think you have to re-raise because Punat can actually close it with
yeah,
a
he
call.
does just re-raise and somehow running into the kings of 𝐿𝐮𝐬.
𝐿𝐮𝐬.
And as
got
𝐵𝐵𝑖𝑠a may be
kings.
starting to regret folding those sevens as you've just allowed your opponent a chance to get back to 13.6 million.
𝐿𝐮𝐬, if he can hold here, has 13.6 million and he's back in it to some degree. To a flop. Jack 8-6. This is great for 𝐷𝐸.
This is clean.
Okay.
Ooh, the king is actually not a bad card for 𝐵𝐵𝑖𝑠a as he goes from 3 outs to 4.
That's right. Additional out.
Needs a 10 to eliminate 𝐷𝐸 𝐿𝐮𝐬.
Is there a 10?
Good luck.
Good luck. River card. It's the 10! It's the 10! 𝐷𝐸.
𝐷𝐸 𝐿𝐮𝐬.
He's out, Alex.
Wow.
Yes, that's a big card. Good game, man. Good game.
Oh my God.
Is 𝐵𝐵𝑖𝑠a perhaps just a min raise here? But no, he limps. And does Poonsri just move in?
I think so. He might think Joshua's fed up and might even call it worse. He's going to jam, isn't he, Alex? You feel it?
I think so.
He's never checking his back, right?
Hold on.
Yep.
He does, and 𝐵𝐵𝑖𝑠a's going
Snap
to
it
call
off.
quickly.
Wow, look at this pot size, Alex. 128 million.
𝐵𝐵𝑖𝑠a now a favorite to double up and take the chip
I
lead
kept picking
here.
up. So weird. I just kept picking up.
Excuse me, he wouldn't quite
jams
take the
and
chip
limps.
lead,
So
but
stupid. Ace, 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 ace.
Surely he's going to run into a hand eventually, which he does. Ace 8 versus 2 10s. And ace would end this tournament right now.
and if not, it's going to be very close in chips.
Flop. 10's looking amazing.
Punat needs an ace, running straight cards. 2 more 3s would do it.
No side on request. Turn card, please.
Oh,
Do you see the additional outs?
I see them, Randy.
He's coming.
A 5 would now work for Punat.
Can we get there and end this tournament? And the show goes on.
Show does go on as the 2 10s of 𝐵𝐵𝑖𝑠a doubling up.
$3.6.
Punat, top pair versus the open in the straight draw with the ace of hearts. Gotta call this.
Dealers in the short deck, at this time, please now prepare your deck.
And a straight now for 𝐃𝐽𝐵𝐠𝐵. What a nice card. Also has the ace of hearts in hand.
This is actually quite okay for Punat from his shoes, right? He picks up a heart.
Yeah, but I think if 𝐃𝐽𝐵𝐠𝐵 checks, which I assume he will, I expect Punat just to check this one back, right?
We will return to play.
Yeah, certainly.
Medium heart, you got one pair on a four-liner. Feels like a very nice check back.
I feel like he's more reason to bet if he didn't hold the heart, just in case he needs protection. But here, contain the pot, 14.4 million. Round of checks. And a heart over heart.
And how much is Punat going to lose in this pot?
Whatever Joshua wants to bet,
Right.
assuming it's reasonable.
Yeah, maybe not an all-in, but
I think he would call pot, to be honest.
yeah, I agree.
There's a lot of bluffs that Joshua could have that might stab 7x.
Does Joshua ever want to check raise here? Try to get those bluffs perhaps out of Punat, try to get king or queen of hearts to value bet?
I could
Even
see
some
it.
lower hearts?
Yeah.
And he does.
There we go.
And does Punat value bet the six of hearts?
It's very hard not to. A six of hearts is very relevant. Get value out of a naked 3 of X.
And of course, he could bet 3-bet and represent the straight flush. I'm getting
Wow, nice
wow,
check back.
Good check.
No value for Joshua.
I mean, if we started on the 2nd and we're ending on the 8th, that's 7 days.
2,
18.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. 7 days.
12 events across 7 days.
Hold on. Queen deuce offsuit 3-betting. Out of line much?
Joshua's got a real hand. A7 of clubs.
Probably just call here. A little bit too deep to 4-bet rip, even though A7 suited could be the best hand. You got position, can navigate accordingly.
Immediately 40 million chips in the middle. It's rough to see a potentially very important flop. Flop comes queen in the window with a... Oh my goodness, what is this hand, Randy? 3-bet pot, Punat flops top pair. Joshua flops trip sevens. I saw the queen of clubs. I was like, that could get exciting. Hold that thought. It's all about them sevens.
I've dropped my jaw. I need to pick it up off the floor because this is a huge cooler. 3-bet pot. Queen deuce is looking very
13.
good.
13.
Clearly better with the ace-7. 13 million chip C-bet.
Punat Punsri will continue his story. As he bets a 13 million with top pair here. It's hard not to be loving that flop. If we're getting a little out of line with queen deuce offsuit, we flop top pair on queen 7-7. And yes, the ranges do widen a lot in heads up, but this was a pretty big raise pre-flop, so you're not necessarily putting your opponent on a 7.
Definitely not. Ranges have shrunk a bit given it's a 3-bet pot.
Joshua just makes the call. The turn is a bit of a brick. The 3 of spades changes nothing. 65 million chips in the pot. Punat is in trouble.
This has to be a slowdown, especially with his kicker. He can't rate to get called by worse for multiple streets. If he bet small on the flop, he probably expected some floats that might stab when checked to.
He follows your advice, and he does slow down. Action is now on the man in position, Joshua 𝐃𝐽𝐵𝐠𝐵.
I think there's a little bit of merit to actually slow playing the trip 7s. But then again, you could look to build the pot. If you do, I like betting small to allow the ace highs to continue. You'll get value from the queen anyways. But widen that range that can check
18.
call against you. This is really good.
He does go somewhat small, betting 18 million into 65. It is the ultimate rainbow board. So Joshua has nothing to worry about in that regard. You're Punat Punsri here. We still got top pair. We've got no kicker. We do gotta start worrying a little bit about that 7.
And maybe even a better queen, but as played, what can you do against 18 million? Nothing. You gotta check call. Look at this pot size.
101 million chips in the middle. That is more than both players have behind. Needless to say, this could be a pot that defines the tournament. As the river is the 6 of diamonds. That does not help Punat, obviously. Only a queen would have really helped him. He's got 86 million. Joshua's got 75. And with that 18 million bet, we have perfectly led ourselves to this river, where we could absolutely go for all of it.
We could easily ask for all of it. He probably will ask for all of it, to be honest.
He won't just ask, Randy. He's going to take it. Unless Punat can get away. And I don't want to throw out the cliche. If anyone could do it, as he does announce all in.
This could be it.
Oh, wow.
I don't think I can fold this combo. Don't love it.
Punat Punsri 3-bet pre-flop with the queen deuce offsuit.
I have
Flop
one
top
very
pair.
big card and one card that he can't have if he's bluffing. So.
So we're running
He
out of time.
calls.
He makes the call and will receive the bad news that the queen is no good. Joshua wins 250 million chips.
Oh, it's so lively to rail here.
There's no space.
There's no space.
We need to build some stands. 8-7 offsuit versus Jack-6 of diamonds. I can't believe he hit the jack. Just when you think the main event is over. We're back.
So he had Jack-5 of diamonds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jack-6 now, a little upgrade.
Yeah, but we had no chips with the Jack-5.
Oh.
We've got some chips now. We're off to see a flop. Joshua, of course, does have one diamond. Flop comes ace is 7-4. And that means Joshua flops best. All the backdoors for Punat, though.
I actually think Punat would strongly consider check calling at least a small bet with the backdoors.
But it has to be small.
Yeah, and that is small, the min.
Actually, legally not allowed to go any smaller than that, guys. It just sounds like a lot. 3 million. Didn't we start this tournament with 250,000 chips?
Yeah, so what, 12 starting stacks is the min bet?
He bet 12 collected souls.
Yeah, 12 collected souls. You know, it's 12 times $8,000, so think about it that way.
Wow. I didn't think about it like that.
Sounds like a lot now, right?
It is. The man bet 100K. Oh my God.
Ooh.
Oh, that's an action card. That's the kind of card that you want to talk about, but you're not going to talk about it because it's so rare. But it's the 5 of diamonds, the dream card for Punat, other than perhaps a jack.
I could see the 8-7 actually betting once again.
And I can see Jack-6 of diamonds coming over the top.
I could see it.
If I face a big bet here with Jack-6 of diamonds, we're sending it, Randy. We're on
Actually,
a bit of a heater at this point anyway.
I do think it would be a very reasonable play, too.
That is a decent bet.
Are we going to see it?
10.5.
Are we going to see it?
Oh. I mean, we have 43 million behind. There is 25 million in the middle. But calling here and whiffing would be absolutely awful. We don't have a lot of time. That is something that's very important to keep in mind. This is an exciting hand. I wouldn't hate the all-in here.
I think he has fold equity, too, especially against better hands. You can fold out
All in.
better high cards. And
Oh.
Yeah, this is nice.
Punat Punsri announces all in for 43.2 million. And your pair of sevens looks very tiny now. But of course, Joshua also picked up a gut shot.
What's confusing for me,
I
if
gotta
I'm
go.
Joshua, is would a 7 check jam with an ace out there? Because if you don't think a 7 would jam, then what are we left with? Combo draws.
And you believe that any ace would have raised pre.
at a decent frequency, yeah, off of that stack. Probably most.
And it's a very draw-heavy board. 2 clubs out there, 2 diamonds out there. Joshua holding a diamond and a club.
I mean, you can't bet this hand on turn to fold.
33 million chips to play a 100 million chip pot. If we win it all. He's got time bank extension chips for days. That's the beauty of not getting too involved when you've got a full table.
That's true. It's going to come very handy here. And obviously some of the concerns are potentially straights, but the 8x blocks 6-8, which is important.
If Joshua does make this call, Punat would be looking for a jack, a diamond, an 8 or a 3.
Okay.
Makes the call.
Okay.
Wow.
Big pot, 100 million?
Yeah.
Great call, by the way, by Joshua. Well done.
That's a
It's
lot
a
to fade
60-40.
Mm-hmm. 60-40. Potentially close it all out. The Germans are getting rowdy once more. Punat already hit a miraculous river with Jack 5.
7, huh?
At this one, Joshua had enough of it as he walks over to his friends and he says, come on, man. Can we close this out? He was down to 10 million, Randy.
He's also close. One more card to go.
7!
The river is the queen of clubs, and that's no good for Punat. And that means we have found our first ever Triton 1 main event champion. The name is Joshua 𝐃𝐨𝐽. Played amazing. Took his time.
Huh?
Nice battle for sure.
Huh?
Nice battle.
Great battle.
Sick.
Right
You
there.
too. Thanks, man. So nice playing with you.
Both players showing a lot of respect to one another, saying it was a great battle.
Huh?
He can't believe it.
I never had the percent.
You are the champion.
Huh?
What a run it has been for Joshua.
Yeah, I might for queen.
He's going to take a moment to let it
like,
sink all in.
Huh?
Thank you. Thank you.
He's on the bluffing. Don't want to make, you know what I mean?
To be honest, you're very unlucky. All your polar bluffing are making hands to lose.
And like
Okay.
9-9, we have mandatory
saying.
triple. It's like he limp code.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah.
The immediate analysis of this
So
heads-up
what's
battle,
gonna happen now
Randy.
exactly?
One he's definitely going to
Yeah.
look back on. Think about, did he make the right play?
I believe Joshua is a little bit confused. He's like, so what do? I just won a Triton 1 tournament and not any of the 12. No, he won the main event, the 8K buy-in, over 1,000 runners. They did make a deal, so this graphic looks a little bit silly, obviously, but he walks away with a $975,000. But more importantly, the eternal glory of being the Triton 1 champion. He's able to take that trophy home.